Okay, so for connecting forms that use Dave's form anti-spam trick on Titanium, basically first step you want to do is just inspect the form, and if it doesn't have a class, we're probably going to need to add one to it. Depending on how the form's set up, it might be a custom code form, which will make it a slightly longer process, but still same basic deal. And so we're just looking for wherever the actual form element is, and we want to see if there's a class on it. So right now we see that there's a class, but the class is not equal to anything. So we're basically going to have to recreate the entire form and just add a class to it. Fastest way to do that is go up to the whole module, right click there and edit as HTML, and we're just going to copy everything that's in there. The reason we do it on the module element rather than the form element is it will also make sure that it copies Dave's script down here, and so it will make sure that the form just stays working and all we have to do is copy and paste. So we will just quickly create a custom code module, paste in that form, but we're going to come up here and we're going to add a class to it. I'm just calling it WC form for what converts form. Doesn't really matter as long as it's got some sort of class. And then in theory it should just recreate our form exactly. I'm also just going to quickly, while we're at this, we're going to make a hidden page and put this form on there because we're going to delete it and we don't want it to delete the form in its entirety. You don't have to name it hidden form, I just do that because then I know where to look every time I know I built the form. And we're just going to copy an existing module this time. So now our form is, not sure why there's an upload logo button, but I didn't see another form from that page, so I'll assume that it was just hidden on the actual page and that we don't need to worry about it. And now we can delete this form and it won't just disappear forever. So now we've got our form with a class. We'll come back to our what converts, or go to our what converts, and we're just going to go reset up the form. So within here, we're already looking for a class. Before it didn't have a name. Now we named it, and it's the WC form. So we'll just go and we're going to grab that class exactly, and we'll paste it into there. And then we're going to do the same thing and get the class or ID for the submit button. In this case, we've got a couple options. We could either do button or button default. We'll do button default since it's a little bit more specific. If for some reason there wasn't a class on the form button, we would just go add class equals, and it could be WC submit, it could be whatever, it doesn't matter as long as we come in and map it. And so on our alternate submit button, we just say class, put our class name of button default. So now we've mapped the form begins at the start of the form element and the form ends at the submit button. It should be able to figure everything out now, so we'll just do a quick test. our form 1 worked, so when we copied and pasted the code, we didn't mess anything up. Usually if it's just copy and paste, that'll be the case, but it is possible to screw things up in there somehow. We can check and see if the form was actually submitted by going up to the form entries, and we should be able to see our data. That's not us, and that's not us. So that makes me wonder if our form actually got submitted. Interesting. So our form doesn't look like it was actually submitted. Let's see if it got picked up, though. Nope, it did not. Cool. Let's see if we can't figure out any reasons why. Okay, so our code's there. That's good to go. Our opening form tag should be WC form, just making sure that everything actually saved on our form. That's there. Okay, since our class of button default might not be specific enough, maybe there's another button default somewhere and it's not able to find it, we'll do one more quick test submission, see if anything shows up. If it still doesn't show up after that, then we'll go in and we'll add an additional class to that button and try it again. The other thing I'm going to quickly do is just look at, is there anything within our custom code module that's not working correctly. More specifically with Dave's script. So down here it's saying look for module 421 and then find the form. So we've created module 421. It is possible that this piece down here is incorrect. Let's double check our hidden form page and we'll just make sure that we're still submitting to the right spot. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter whether the form was working or not, because look who was receiving and who was sending it.
So it was us.
So nobody was going to ever receive this form, so we'll fix that while we're in the process. But nothing else looks like it should have caused problems other than that this upload logo, maybe it didn't submit our form because we didn't include a logo. We'll remove that and see if maybe that fixes our issue. And then the one there didn't have this well, so I'm just going to add the well back in. Title. feels skinnier. Does it feel skinnier to you?
I'm not sure.
I'm just going to copy that and undo what I did and see. It's because the labels are on top of them. And this doesn't have the labels. That's easy enough. Actually, no. What do those look like? Okay. SR only A. Okay, so it looks like there is a label on there. Is SR only being hidden? I think I accidentally uncopied my code. Alright, so we'll just add labels. That's easy enough, I guess. Maybe those are already in there. Why are they disappearing, though? Okay, well, we're just going to get rid of that class then, because those should not be disappearing. Make sure our hidden fields are actually the ones that are required. So our two required fields are actually the required ones, so name and email. Okay, let's try this again now and see if it actually submits to the right spot. Looks like there maybe some padding above it before as well. Does it need to go further down, or does that look about right?
Yeah, looks about right.
Okay. Let's make sure we put our class back in, since we technically need to do that.